Hi everyone, my name is Veer and I lead the Global Procurement Solutions at Ahmedabad GCC GBS. And I'm really happy today to have Eloi with me. Eloi is a Global Procurement Officer and Sustainability Officer. So Eloi, you have traveled a long distance from Chicago to Ahmedabad, right? You go back very quickly, right? Just less than 2 days, 2 complete days here. So first thing I would like to ask is, the energy, from where you bring that energy of so much travel, right? And not staying with us for a longer time. We wish to do that. So how you do that?
Thanks, Veer. First of all, nice to be here. It's really a pleasure to be these 2 days with you and the team here. What we are building here in Ahmedabad is incredible. I think the power and the energy of the team is just amazing. And that's where I get my energy. Right? So the energy I get from the amazing team that we are building together. Unfortunately, I didn't have more time to spend with you guys. The agenda is quite busy as usual, but I think it was very intense. So very important to be here and to see what we are building physically here, because it's incredible the power of putting the brilliant team together and how this team will bring the value to the broader company, right? The whole Kraft Heinz. So it's amazing to see what we have been able to do so far, and looking forward to see what we're going to be able to do going forward.
So I think that was the best way to answer, right? You put all the onus to us, right? From where you drive the energy, so you probably skipped answering what I was looking for. But anyways, now coming to the next part, right? For the youngsters especially. So we keep on hearing, work-life balance. It's talked about a lot, right? People talk about a lot, and then we see leaders like you being everywhere where we need them, right? You are clicking photographs, you're liking, you're commenting, replying to the emails so quickly. So what's your advice to the new people, right, who begin their professional careers, and then they get into a time where they start speaking about work-life balance, how do I manage so much of load with such a short time, everybody gets 24 hours. What's the tip for that? How do you do it? And people like you do that?
That's amazing here. I think first and foremost, I think I do believe in work-life integration, right? So as more integrated you can have your life with your work, the better it will be. And the most important thing is really to love what you're doing, right? I have my 2 kids and my wife, my family. They are, of course, my priority and my joy. And of course, the time that I spend with them, I have to be 100% with them, right? So I have to make sure that I spend proper time, quality time with my family, right? But of course, you have to create some kind of, routine in order to be able also to prioritize the moments to do everything that you want to do in life, right? For example, I love sports. I love triathlon, right? So I always try to squeeze a little bit of training on my routine. And I cannot start my day without running or cycling or going to the gym, getting my energy there in the gym as well. So that's what you were looking for, because that's of course a big part of my life as well. So I don't see myself, doing anything different than that. So that's I think that's something that for me it's the best way to start the day. That's the best way to think about the solutions of the challenge that we have. That's the best way that I connect myself with my priorities of the day as well. And that way we can bring our life outside of work into our work life as well, right? But the most important thing is really to love what you do. If you love what you do, if you love your sports, if you love your family, if you love your work, your job, you are going to be successful and you're going to enjoy every single minute of everything that we are doing.
So you probably don't feel like, if you love what you do, you don't feel like any work-life imbalance, right? You actually enjoying everything. It's not different things.
Absolutely.
It's one thing together.
Absolutely, that's exactly the case. And ultimately, our work life is a lot about people, right? A lot being with people, being with, talented people around us, challenging people, being challenged with people. And that's so energetic as well, just so energizing as well, right? So, and that's something that for me connects with my values, making sure that we support and develop people around us. And that's for me a huge way to bring our life into work and vice versa, right? So that's the integration that for me works really well.
Awesome. I hope we all learn from this, right? We try to adapt to this. So, Eli, next one. It's like, again, how the world is changing. So there's a lot of change. We have AI coming in, different things happening. We want to go for different kind of academics, different kind of qualifications. You have kids, right? I have kids. We want to make sure that their academics are stronger and built for the future, right? But then there are certain things that never change when it comes to your professional life. Certain things never change. So what are those things which you think never change? Let it be any industry, you are at any stage of your career. So what is that which does not change with the world, that still remains there and is required to exceed? And what has taken you here?
Yeah. The world, of course, we have to keep evolving, right? So the way that we used to work many years ago, is very different than the way that we work today, in some different elements, right? In so many different elements. But one thing doesn't change, right? So it's the power of connection, the power of integrating and connecting with people. That doesn't change at all, right? So being procurement, we have a huge responsibility of connecting our company with the external world, right? Connecting ourselves with our partners outside of the company, right? Connecting our teams with the partners outside of the company as well. That's something that doesn't change, right? Again, there are many ways, in many different ways, we have evolved the way that we do that connections, right? So many years ago, we didn't have video calls, right? So I'm from the time that video calls didn't exist, right? So even cell phones didn't exist. Nowadays, it's much easier, right? But the power of connection, the power of really connecting with people, connecting ourselves with other people outside of the company, that doesn't change. That's super important for us.
Awesome. Thank you. Next one is maybe a bit difficult, but we all go through this, right? So, we all have hunger for appreciations, rewards, recognitions, promotions, right? And it's not always like what you think comes your way, right? So, hope you would also have been into those situations. How did you manage? And you would have learned, right? So I keep on learning, okay, how to manage it better next time. I'm not stressed, I'm not depressed. How to come out of it, right? What's your suggestion? How do we manage such scenarios where we have a strong belief that I should be there, I should be getting that, but I did not?
Nobody else other than ourselves, better than ourselves, to engage and motivate us, right? And I think the key point that we all have faced ups and downs in our lives, in our careers, right? Everyone, right? And if you didn't face any downside on your career, you will, right? If you don't, you are not trying hard, right? So you're not pushing yourselves to the limits that you don't know where you're gonna get, right? But the key point, life is a long journey, right? It's not a sprint, right? As I love sports, it's a marathon, right? It's a long marathon. And if you keep focused on the journey, if you keep focusing on the long term, you are going to be able to learn with the adversities of the short term overcome it and move forward, right? That's a huge motivation. If you have a big dream in mind, if you have a big destination in mind, and a direction where you're going to get, those adversities of the short terms, they are just part of the journey. Enjoy the journey, learn with it, and keep evolving, right? So I think that's the view of the long term is what is really important for us, to make sure that we face the adversities, learn with it, and keep evolving.
Awesome. So I feel it like, we shouldn't probably get into a situation where something else drives our happiness. It should be in our control, right? Where we decide, I choose to be happy, I choose to enjoy what I do, rather than depending upon the outside world and looking, if this happens to me, so I'm happy. If that person does this to me, I'm not happy, right? So it's more of us to decide, this is how I want to lead my life, right?
And also coming back to the power of connections, right? So you have several things that you can choose in life, and one of the things that you can choose in life is who you want to be with, right? So surround yourself with people that complement you. Surround yourself with people that challenge you. Surround yourself with people that develops you, right? And this is basically the people that are gonna bring you back when you are on the downsides as well, right? Those are the people that are gonna inspire you to keep doing more, right? Those are the people that you are gonna look up and look after to, keep evolving. I think that's again the power of connection, right? So the power of having great people around you, right? Great people makes great things happen, right? So and learn with it and look around, and then make sure that you are going to follow those great people.
100%. Coming to the power of connections you mentioned, right? So with the GCCs growing, right? So you have been here for a couple of days, so you have partied hard with us. You see GCCs make very strong connection between different functions of the organizations, which otherwise is not possible. Like you get a one-stop shop. So anybody coming here, you're coming from procurement, right? You're able to see finance here, supply chain here, you've got internal controls here, which otherwise sometimes, right, with the organizations of our size spread across the globe, we really get that opportunity where you have everything on the one floor happening. So how do you see it? How do you see future of GCCs? And do you believe that they form a very strong connection between different functions of the same organization?
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And ultimately, as I mentioned to our team as well, the beauty about building a GCC, and we are building our global procurement solutions team here as well with you leading the team, is really the extension of our teams, right? So we're looking at the team that we're building here as a complement, as an extension of our teams across the whole world. One thing that we believe a lot in our company is how can we combine agility with scale. The GCC brings that scale into life, connecting with the local teams and making sure that we have agility to address the challenges of the day-to-day. But the level of integration that we can build, and as you mentioned, being close to each other in different functions, basically in the same building, basically in the same floor, and looking around and finding solutions for the challenges that we have across different functions is an amazing opportunity for us to use that scale and bring the value above and beyond for the company. I think that's a huge opportunity for us as a team, as well as a company as a whole, to take the ability to connect the different functions with the whole company in one single place. I think that's an amazing opportunity that we have.
And we see the future in them, right? So we see how GCCs have been growing, right? And how the future lies. That's the future we want to go. So good. So coming to, like we discussed about Glasgow, you have additional responsibility of sustainability now, and procurement can be a key driver in that, right? So we have a very major role to play. What can be that starting point where people start thinking about sustainability, also a responsibility for procurement? Because if you talk about procurement, the focus is, okay, you bring in savings, value, you avoid risk, and you stop here. So how we embed sustainability into the overall ecosystem of procurement?
Very good question. And that's a challenge that everyone is facing, right? Every big company has a net zero commitment, net zero journey, net zero challenge, right? It's a long-term challenge, right? The key point is we have a foundation that is basically how can we make sure that we have a combination between driving sustainability while we keep the affordability of our products to our consumers. Ultimately, that's a key point that we need to preserve, right? Our consumers, they are not going to be necessarily able to pay more for sustainable products, sustainable solutions. How can we make sustainable solutions affordable, right? And that's the beauty about combining efficiency with sustainability, right? So productivity drives sustainability, right? So if we have just one example, in our agricultural base as a food company, we have so many different crops. We work with so many different growers across the whole world. If we help the growers to become more productive, more efficient, naturally, as a consequence, they will consume less natural resources and reduce emissions. And if we make this connection between efficiency, productivity with sustainability, it's a very, very important balance for us moving forward. Procurement has a huge role to play as well on connecting the company with our suppliers. And our suppliers face the same challenges, right? How can we bring them with the expertise and capabilities that they have to complement our own, right? And face those challenges, bringing sustainable solutions together, right? Ultimately, it's, as I said, a long-term journey, and it's a journey that no one will be able to address by itself, right? So no company will be able to address it by itself. So collaboration is the name of the game, right? Partnership is the name of the game. So making sure that we find solutions that are affordable and sustainable is the name of the game. So, and this is part of our evolution as a function as well, right? So procurement has a huge role to play, but everybody else in the company has as well. So that's something that only being together as a company, as a unique team, can help us to address the challenges on sustainability going forward.
Awesome. I think that's what everybody needs to think, and do not isolate it with a particular function or a team to do it. It's all about supply chain planning only, it's procurement only, but everybody has a responsibility. Every function can contribute there, right? Coming to the next one, right? So it's like, goes on in my mind when we talk about GCCs, right? So there's a term called cultural sensitization. It's very important when we build centers like GCC, right? So we talk to different people from different corners of the world, with different cultures, right? Something which might be good here in India might be different. Somebody can form a different opinion of that in Brazil, maybe, right? So how can we work towards that? What's the best way in a shorter time to make it possible that we are culturally sensitized to each other?
A very important question here. As a company, we have a very strong culture, right? And no matter in which country you are, which religion you have, which background you have, as a company, we have a uniform culture, right? Following our values and making sure that we are able to behave, implement, and act according to our values is boundless, right? So we don't have any restriction in terms of country A, B, or C operating differently than other in terms of culture, right? So, and that's the beauty about having a solid and strong culture as well, right? We do believe that our culture can be and will be a competitive advantage for the company, right? So making this culture a solid foundation on how we operate across the whole world, it can be a really powerful competitive advantage for us, no matter which country you are, which country you operate.
Awesome. So, Eloi, thank you so much. You have been, again, I repeat that, with a lot of energy. You've traveled here for 2 days, have been partying hard with us. I'm sure you will be part of all our annual functions we celebrate every year. And this time you met like 100 people from Procurement Solutions, right? That's the team you're building up. Hope it doubles next time when you meet. And we hope that you enjoyed this trip in India, and next time it's for a longer period of time. So thank you so much, Eloi. Thank you so much to have you here.
Thank you very much, Veer.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be here, and we're looking forward for the next steps of this journey and for what our team is going to be able to bring as value added for the organization.
100%.
Thank you.
Veer.